Okay, today we are pulling back the curtain on something that affects almost every single one of us, but that very few people actually understand. We're going to break down exactly why, no matter how much your salary goes up, it never, ever feels like it's enough. And here's the thing, this isn't an accident. It's a trap, and it's been meticulously designed.
I want you to go back for a second. Can you remember that feeling? Holding your first real paycheck? It might not have been a lot of money, but I bet a really powerful thought came with it, didn't it?
You probably thought something like, man, if I could just make 20 or 30% more than this, all my money problems would just vanish. We've all been there. We're all taught to believe that the next raise, that next promotion, that's the thing that's going to finally bring us some financial peace.
And yet, fast forward to today, you're probably earning way more than you were back then. Maybe you've had a few raises, a couple of promotions, but that feeling at the end of the month, that little bit of financial tightness, it's probably still there, isn't it? Well, I'm here to tell you, you are not crazy, and you're not bad with money.
This is the most important thing to get. It is not a coincidence. The whole idea of a salary is engineered, both mathematically and psychologically, to keep you running on a hamster wheel. So let's break down exactly how this trap works, starting with the battleground that's inside your own head.
See, the trap begins right between your ears. There are these powerful psychological forces silently working to make sure you never actually get ahead.
This right here is the #1 rule of the salary trap. It's like a law of physics for your finances. Whatever you earn, your spending will somehow magically rise to meet it. The system is brilliant at tricking you into thinking every new expense is a totally justified necessity. And here's what that looks like in the real world. When you were earning $1,000, your life somehow cost exactly $1,000. Now that you're earning $3,000, isn't it funny how your needs have conveniently expanded to cost you $3,000? The system is perfectly set up to absorb every single extra dollar you bring in.
So you might be asking, how does that happen? Well, a big part of it is something called the Diderot effect. You know that feeling when you buy one new, really nice thing, and all of a sudden everything else you own looks kind of old and shabby? That feeling sets off a chain reaction, a spiral of consumption.
And this is that chain reaction in action. The raise gets you a nicer car. But now, your old clothes just don't feel right in that new car, so you upgrade your wardrobe. And then, well, your old apartment doesn't really fit this new lifestyle, so you've got to move. Your raise never even had a chance to become wealth. It was spent before it even settled, just to maintain a new image.
But it's not just what's going on in your head. Beyond our own psychology, there are external forces, these hidden rules of the game that are actively working against you.
This whole phenomenon has a name: lifestyle creep, or lifestyle inflation. And it's called the silent killer for a reason. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a little subscription here, an upgrade to the premium service there. You go from cooking at home to ordering out 3, maybe 4 times a week. Each decision feels tiny and insignificant, but when you add them all up, they completely devour your income.
And what's the little voice in our head that justifies all of this? I work hard, I deserve it. The system absolutely loves when you say that. It brilliantly reframes spending money as a reward for your hard work. But in reality, you just become a middleman. Your raise goes from your boss's bank account, passes through yours for a second, and goes straight into the pockets of other corporations. And then there's the tax trap. A salary is the single most heavily taxed form of income on the entire planet. So when you finally get that big raise, you often get bumped into a higher tax bracket. That means a 15% raise on paper might only feel like an 8% raise in your bank account. The government literally takes a bigger piece of your extra effort. And this all leads to the final mathematical ceiling of a salary. You are trading your time for money. And that model has a hard, unbreakable limit. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can't work more. And there's a cap on what someone will pay for 1 hour of your time. Your ability to earn is stuck inside a cage.
Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds bad, but it probably only applies to people on lower incomes. Well, the data shows something absolutely terrifying for high earners, a group that we now call the rich poor. The acronym for them is HENRYs, high earners, not rich yet. These are the people with 6-figure incomes who look wealthy from the outside. They've got the nice car, the big house, the designer stuff, but their financial reality, it's shockingly fragile.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to really think about this. What percentage of people earning over $100,000 a year do you think are living paycheck to paycheck, with basically no savings? Just take a guess.
More than half. Let that sink in. According to recent studies, over 50% of six-figure earners are one emergency, one layoff away from complete financial disaster. They have a high income, but they have a net worth of nearly zero.
I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the situation. Their big salary isn't funding real wealth. It's funding a high-consumption lifestyle. It's a life filled with expensive liabilities, not income-producing assets. They're not rich. They're just trapped in a much prettier golden cage.
Okay, so we've laid out the trap. It's pretty bleak. But now let's talk about the escape. The good news is, breaking free isn't about some miracle. It just requires a fundamental, radical shift in how you see and use your salary. This right here is the single most powerful strategy you can possibly use. It's called the invisible raise. The very next time you get a raise, a bonus, anything extra, you pretend it never happened. You keep living on your old budget. And that gap you create, the space between your growing income and your frozen lifestyle, that is where wealth is born. This is the big mental shift. Your salary is not the prize. Your salary is the seed money. Its main purpose should be to buy assets, things that make money for you while you sleep. This is how you start to break the link, to disconnect your time from your income. And to do that, we have to completely redefine what status means to us. False status is buying things like cars, watches, and clothes to make other people think you have money. Real freedom is buying things like index funds, businesses, and assets so that you actually have money. An expensive watch just screams, I have a high salary. A diversified portfolio whispers, I am free.
So it all comes down to this one question that's going to define your financial future. Your salary was designed to make sure you keep showing up to work on Monday. So are you going to keep using it to fund the trap and keep running on that hamster wheel? Or are you going to start using it as the key to buy your way out? The choice is yours.